When your cat sleeps with you, do you actually know what they're trying to say? Yes, it's one of the warmest feelings in the world. A cat curled up beside you, purring softly, completely at peace. But behind that nightly ritual, there is something far deeper than most owners ever stop to consider. Something rooted in feline biology, in ancient instinct, and in a bond that science is only now beginning to fully understand. And if you have been misreading it, which most people quietly are, you have been missing messages your cat has been sending you every single night. There is one thing in particular I want you to stay for. Because if your cat used to sleep with you and suddenly stopped, most owners assume it means nothing. But the real reason, which we will get to later, is something you genuinely need to hear. Let us talk about what is really happening. First, it was never just about warmth and comfort. The easy explanation is this. Your cat gets cold, your bed is warm, problem solved. But that explanation falls apart the moment you think about it. Cats are extraordinarily good at finding warmth. A sunny windowsill that holds heat for hours, the spot on top of the refrigerator where warm air rises, a cardboard box that traps body heat perfectly, the laundry basket full of fresh warm clothes. If warmth was all they were after, they have options. Plenty of them. So, why do they keep choosing you? Sleep is the moment of greatest vulnerability for any animal. Every survival instinct a cat carries, even the most pampered, well-fed cat who has never spent a night outdoors, tells them that sleep is when danger can find you. Cats in the wild sleep in hidden places, elevated spots, somewhere they can see threats coming. And yet your cat walks past every quiet corner of your home, every safe, tucked-away spot, every high perch where they could rest unseen, and climbs into bed beside a human. That is not about temperature. That is a decision. Research into cat attachment behavior has consistently shown that cats form deep emotional bonds with their owners, bonds that are just as significant as those in dogs, though cats express them differently. When your cat chooses to sleep beside you, they are communicating something they have no other way to say. You are the safest place I know, and for a cat, trust is not given lightly. Cats are solitary hunters by nature, creatures wired for independence, and the fact that they override that deep biological pull to remain alone speaks volumes. They are synchronizing themselves to your presence. Studies measuring physiological responses in cats during close contact with their owners found that stress hormones dropped significantly when cats were in physical proximity to the person they were bonded to. But here is the part most people never consider. The same thing happens to you. A cat's purr, which occurs at a frequency between 25 and 150 Hz, has been scientifically shown to lower cortisol in humans, reduce blood pressure, and slow heart rate. You are not just letting your cat sleep with you. You are both, without realizing it, regulating each other at a neurochemical level. Night after night, your breathing patterns align. Your cat's body learns the rhythm of yours. Your heartbeat becomes a lullaby they depend on. And when something is off, when you are restless or anxious or unwell, they sense it before you have even registered it yourself. Your cat's sense of smell is 14 times more sensitive than yours. They pick up on chemical changes in your body that indicate stress, illness, or emotional turmoil. That is not a pet seeking comfort. That is a bond operating at a biological level so profound that it transcends the boundaries between two different species. They have assigned themselves a role. Pay attention to where your cat positions themselves when they sleep beside you. Is it near your head, against your chest, curled in the crook of your arm, at your feet, or sprawled across your pillow like they own it? Because that placement is not random, it is deliberate. Cats descend from solitary hunters, not pack animals like dogs, which makes their territorial choices even more significant. When a cat sleeps near your head, they are claiming you as theirs in the most possessive, loving way possible. They are marking you with their scent glands, which are located on their head and face. They are essentially saying, "This human belongs to my territory, and I am responsible for them." A cat pressed against your chest is seeking your heartbeat, that rhythmic reassurance that everything is okay. A cat at your feet is maintaining a position where they can respond quickly if needed, still maintaining some independence while remaining close. They know they are domesticated. They know this is a home, not the wilderness. But instinct does not care about that distinction. Something deep in their DNA says, "This human is in my territory, and I keep what is mine safe whilst they sleep." Every sleep position is telling you something specific. The way your cat arranges themselves beside you is not just habit. Each position carries a meaning, and once you know what to look for, you will never see your cat sleeping the same way again. The tight curl happens when your cat wraps themselves into a ball, tail tucked around their body, nose hidden. This position preserves body heat and protects vital organs. If your cat curls up beside you but keeps themselves somewhat contained, they feel safe enough to be near you, but there is still a thread of independence, still a part of them maintaining readiness. Trust is there. It is just not completely surrendered. The sprawl is completely different. Legs stretched out, belly exposed, body completely loose and unguarded. This is the deepest form of trust a cat can show. Every survival instinct tells a cat to protect their belly, the most vulnerable part of their body. A cat who sprawls beside you has switched every one of those instincts off. That is not just relaxation. That is total emotional safety. That is a cat saying, "I do not need to be on guard when you are here." The pressed against you position is when your cat wedges themselves as close to you as physically possible, sometimes in positions that look genuinely uncomfortable to human eyes. That is the clearest message of all. They want no distance between you whatsoever. Not clingy in the way humans understand clinginess, not needy in a desperate sense, just devoted. It is a cat's way of saying, "I choose you above solitude. I choose you above my own independence." They have rewired their internal clock for you. Cats are naturally crepuscular, most active during dawn and dusk, the times their ancestors hunted. A cat's natural rhythm has no business aligning with a human schedule, and yet it does. Bonded cats gradually shift their activity patterns to mirror their owner's routine. They sleep more when you sleep. They become alert when you stir. They anticipate your morning routine, your work schedule, your wind-down habits with an accuracy that consistently catches new owners off guard. This is not training. This is attention sustained over months and years, thousands of small observations, until your rhythm became theirs. An internal clock shaped by millions of years of evolution as a solitary predator, quietly bending itself around you. Not because they have to, because they want to be where you are when you are there. And this is where cats differ most profoundly from dogs. Dogs align their schedules to be helpful. Cats align their schedules because they genuinely prefer your company to any alternative. They feel your stress before you know you are feeling it. Have you ever had a day where everything went wrong, said nothing to anyone, and walked through the door to find your cat already waiting for you in a way they normally do not? That is not your cat being sweet, though they are. That is your cat reading signals you did not know you were sending. Research has demonstrated that cats can detect changes in human emotional states through scent, observation, and behavioral cues. Your body chemistry shifts when you are stressed, and your cat's nose, while not quite as sensitive as a dog's, is still extraordinarily refined, picking up on subtle chemical changes immediately. Beyond scent, your posture changes. Your gait changes. The way you move through a room changes. The micro-expressions in your face change. Your cat is reading all of it simultaneously. And here is where the sleeping connection matters profoundly. Night after night, sleeping beside you, your cat builds a detailed map of what your baseline feels like. Your resting heart rate, your breathing rhythm, the way your body moves when you are genuinely at peace, the warmth you generate, the sounds you make. So when something shifts, even subtly, they know. They notice the difference between your normal stress and dangerous stress. They sense when you are coming down with something before you do. This is why cats become extra attentive when their owner is unwell, grieving, or going through something difficult. They are not guessing. They are responding to real, measurable changes in the person they have been studying with devotion every single night. When they suddenly stop, pay close attention. A cat who has slept beside you for months or years does not stop without a reason, and that reason is almost always worth understanding. The most important possibility first. If your cat suddenly seeks solitude during sleep, particularly if they are older, consider their physical health. Cats instinctively withdraw when they are in pain or feeling unwell. It is an ancient survival mechanism. Hide the weakness. Do not let the vulnerability show. A cat pulling away from their usual sleeping spot may be telling you something their body cannot say any other way. A conversation with your vet is always worth having. But there is something else people rarely consider. Cats are extraordinarily sensitive to environmental changes. A new piece of furniture in the bedroom, a shift in the scent of your laundry detergent, a stranger visiting, even something as subtle as a change in the quality of light at night can unsettle a cat enough to change their sleeping patterns. Look at what has changed in the environment. Has someone new entered the home? Has the routine shifted? Has something startled your cat in the bedroom? If a conflict happened in that space, if your cat had a negative experience there, they may create distance to protect themselves. Cats have excellent memories, and they associate locations with experiences. Unlike dogs, which may eventually forgive and forget, cats hold on to negative associations more persistently. And sometimes it is purely emotional. If something startled your cat in the bedroom, if they were scooped up in a way that felt threatening, if they associated that environment with something that unsettled them, they may create distance to protect themselves. The key is simply this: pay attention. Your cat chose to sleep beside you because you were the safest place they knew. If that changes, they are not being difficult. They are not being distant. They are communicating. So watch, listen, and if they need help finding their way back to feeling safe, do that work with them. Because that nightly ritual was never small to your cat. Every position, every pressed-in moment, every slow breath synchronized with yours in the dark. All of it was a choice, and that choice was always you. But there is something deeper happening that most cat owners completely miss. Cats, unlike dogs, do not depend on you for survival in the way pack animals do. In the wild, a cat can hunt, can survive alone, needs nothing from a human, and yet they choose to sleep with you anyway. They choose to synchronize their lives with yours. They choose to be vulnerable in your presence. That is not instinct overriding itself. That is preference. That is a conscious decision made every single night. A cat sleeping with you is not following an evolutionary script. They are choosing you over every other option available to them. They are choosing comfort, yes, but more importantly, they are choosing connection. They are choosing to believe that being close to you is worth the risk of vulnerability. They are choosing love, expressed in the only way a cat knows how, through proximity, through presence, through the simple act of staying. When your cat sleeps with you, they are not just resting beside you. They are saying something that transcends species, something that moves beyond the simple bonds of domestication. They are saying, "You matter to me. You are important. You are safe. You are home." And in return, you have become their home too. Every night they climb into bed with you. They are renewing that commitment, deepening that bond, choosing you again and again and again. That is what your cat has been trying to tell you every single night. That is the message behind the nightly ritual, the soft purr, the slow blink, the contented sleep beside you in the dark. Your cat loves you, and they are showing you in the only way they know how.